Hello everybody and welcome back to the ASUS North America YouTube channel. This is JJ once again and we're bringing you guys another overview video. This time around we're not going to necessarily be covering a physical product, but we're going to be talking about a set of features that we offer on a number of our series of motherboards. Specifically for you guys that have checked out a number of our different boards under the ASUS ROG series, and specifically that being our new Z87 Maximus series, we have a new set of features that are referred to as Sonic Radar and Perfect Voice. Now these complement the overall sound design that we've gone ahead and implemented on these motherboards underneath the naming scheme of SupremeFX. Now SupremeFX is on the Maximus 6 Formula, the Maximus 6 Hero, the Maximus 6 Gene, as well as the Maximus 6 Impact. So rounding out essentially a board for every single type of form factor and every single price point that you might be interested in. Now while the sound quality improvements are going to vary between these boards, as well as their overall total output quality, you're still always going to get an improvement when compared to the default integrated audio experience, as all SupremeFX audio designs feature full audio separation. They feature all improvements in terms of operational amplifiers, and they all have improved upon audio capacitors that are specific to the design implementation. Now, we're going to be focusing not necessarily on that aspect of SupremeFX, but specifically on Sonic Radar and Perfect Voice. These are two software enhancements that we're being able to provide to you guys that should hopefully give you guys a richer and more immersive gaming experience. So what we're going to go ahead and do is take our test system that we have here, a Maximus 6 Hero, jump into an actual title like Call of Duty Black Ops, and give you an example of actually how Sonic Radar works real-time in-game. So with that, let's go ahead and actually take a look at the desktop and see actually the Sonic Radar software itself before we jump into some gameplay. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and jump onto our desktop here and take a look at the actual Sonic Radar software itself and show you a little bit about the actual interface. So if we go ahead and just go into our system tray, you're going to see that if we highlight over the red kind of HUD icon, that's actually going to be the Sonic Radar application itself. So we're just going to go ahead and click on it and then go ahead and launch it here. So the first thing that we're actually going to go ahead and see is going to be the primary interface for Sonic Radar. Now, with this Sonic Radar interface here, you're going to have a couple of different options. The first off is going to be some game presets, and these are going to go ahead and change over time. As we go ahead and get feedback from you guys in the community, we're going to go ahead and continue to fine-tune and integrate different types of presets for different titles, such as Battlefield 3, Black Ops, or other popular first-person shooters. For example, maybe something like Team Fortress 2, or online games like Battlefield Heroes or any number of other popular FPS titles. Now you're also going to have the options that directly underneath that, you can go ahead and go to the radar selection. With the radar selection, you can go ahead and define different types of equalization settings in terms of how you want it to manage that. So you have a high range, you have a mid-range, you have a base range, so for low frequency, and then you have a full range, which is accounting for all the actual frequencies. Now from there, you're also going to have some quick options in terms of automatically enabling game detection, meaning that it can go ahead and register and execute the actual Sonic Radar application as soon as the game is actually launched without you having to interface within the program. The other option is if we go into advanced settings, we're going to have some customization options. So if we take a look at here, we're going to be able to adjust things such as the smoothness or the opacity. We can also test the actual Sonic Radar application itself. So if we go ahead and click the test button, as we have our actual headphones plugged in, we're actually hear the sound occurring, but we'll also visually see it here represented on the map. And that's actually what you see right here, is that there's sound being generated and it's actually allowing us to see where it's occurring in our field of view. Now we have the ability that we can go ahead and adjust the radar position anywhere where we'd like in our screen, so that if you don't want it to go ahead and maybe obstruct something within your primary interface or your HUD for your game, you can go ahead and adjust it. And we'll also show you in game how you can go ahead and manage things such as the overall opacity of the actual Sonic Radar, the Sonic Radar overlay, as well as adjusting aspects of the positioning real-time in game. And that's all adjustable, as you can see right here, by a different set of shortcuts, which you can be gone ahead and modified by you for quick keyboard commands. So for you guys, when you're in game, you can go ahead and adjust it to whatever your liking is. So from here, next up, we're actually going to go ahead and jump into Black Ops and give you guys a little bit of example of how Sonic Radar works in game. Alright guys, so before we jump into Black Ops, we're just going to quickly go back into our game presets and actually select Black Ops. Now the cool thing that we have here is you're going to see, since we've gone ahead and already created a preset, we can go ahead and recognize certain actual in-game sounds right off the bat. So as you can see, by default, it's registering all threats. So that would be things like gunshots and footsteps. But let's say maybe you're on a certain map or in a certain mode where you just want to register certain sounds, you can go ahead and have it selected for, say, let's like Sentinel mode, voice range, or just adjust gunshots. So it's up to you. And as I noted, as we continue to get feedback from you guys within the community, we can continue to go ahead and customize this. Now, one important note is that Sonic Radar by default does automatically launch, so that if you do want to go ahead and make an adjustment, you do want to go back over to the actual Sonic Radar system tray option and right click it and ensure that it's not automatically launching in your system. So if you're one of your guys that have maybe your Steam or your Origin or whatever your gameplay accounts might be automatically logging into your system and you might not want to have it enabled, just keep that in mind. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into Black Ops. Okay guys, so we're here in Black Ops. Before we go ahead and jump into the gameplay, one quick thing that we want to go ahead and show you is that we've gone ahead and already made an adjustment here in game to where the actual overlay is occurring real time. Now you can go ahead and actually make an adjustment, and we'll show that in a little bit in terms of you being able to adjust it real time in game. But one cool thing you can do is go ahead and adjust things like the opacity. So if we go ahead and just do Control Alt and either add or subtract, we can go ahead and do that. So you can see right there, we've gone ahead and brightened it, or gone ahead and darken it up. So it's up to you. It's very easy to work with. So with that, let's go ahead and jump into a little bit of the gameplay here. So one of the great things you can see right here is that it's a real-time representation of the sound as it's occurring in game. And especially in environments like this where you have a lot going on at the same time, you can go ahead and have this be advantageous because sometimes you might not be able to see everything that's happening in real time in the game. So you can go ahead and reference the Sonic Radar and be able to go ahead and see where sometimes your enemies are coming from, especially kind of when they're hidden behind a certain corner or a certain section. All right, so we gotta go ahead and move on our way over here. Continue. And as you can see right there, it's entirely detecting the directionality of the audio that we're having in game. Not only from enemies, but from your fellow soldiers as well. All right. All right, guys, so we're just going to go ahead and move on out here a little bit. You can see right here, it's great because we can go ahead and see where people are coming from, get a sense of that. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap up the gameplay here, but this gives you a little bit of an example. And the last thing we kind of want to show right here is that we're going to have the ability to go ahead and also adjust where the actual overlay occurs. And you can see right there, as I can go ahead and move it real time. So you can go ahead and adjust it that in certain situations, if you need to be able to see something on the screen at the same time, you can go ahead and make an adjustment to that. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other aspects of the Supreme Effects-based design, including perfect voice and noise gate. Okay guys, so one of the next things that we're going to show you right here as part of the total Supreme Effects design is a technology that we have that's called Perfect Voice along with Noise Gate. Essentially what we've gone ahead and done here is evaluate the type of experience that you have when you're actually talking to people in game and using actually different types of chat clients, whether it's the internal voice client for the game or whether it's things like Ventrilo, Razer Comms, it could be Mumble, any number of different types of options that you have out there. But one of the things that happens when you're in the middle of a game or sometimes in a noisier environment, like if you're a LAN party or even sometimes at home, depending on your environment, is that there can be a lot of ambient noise. So what we have the ability to do is we can go ahead and add some actual DSP processing to go ahead and equalize and normalize the actual sound so that we can help to go ahead and reinforce the clarity of your voice while you're actually chatting in game. So if we go ahead and go over to our Realtek HD Audio Manager, you'll see that actually in the inside ROG customized interface right here, there's an option under the microphone that says Noise Gate. When we go ahead and select Noise Gate, we also have an option for noise reduction. With both of those, we can go ahead and make an adjustment to allow how the DSP software makes the equalization process occur. So this is something that you can go ahead and try out and see how it complements the actual voice experience that you're going to have while you're playing with people in your respective environment. It's a really easy level of adjustment to make in terms of just go ahead and taking the slider and go ahead and dragging it to whichever value you feel provides you an improvement. Now keep in mind that, of course, it's going to be dependent on not only your environment, but even the variability and the sensitivity of the microphone that you're using within your headset. Now, if you're one of those users that it is utilizing a digital headset, so a USB-enabled headset, keep in mind that since the processing for a USB-enabled headset is integrated into the actual host processor inside that headset, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of the perfect voice or the noise gate or the noise reduction technology. So this is for you users out there that would be using a headset like here with our Orion Pros or Vulcan Pros or any other type of analog-based headset that's going to be plugging either into your line in, your line out, or your headphone connection on your chassis. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap things up for you guys and give you a little bit more perspective on where we see Sonic Radar fits into your gaming experience. Alright guys, so we've talked a little bit about Supreme Effects, not in all its specific forms, as you keep in mind that not only boards like our Maximus 6 Formula as well as our Maximus 6 Hero or even our Impact, while they all feature Supreme Effects, they all have varying different types of design implementations and variable levels of the improvement over the baseline audio design that you're going to have on a standard series motherboard. So keep in mind that if you're looking for more information specific to the Supreme Effects design implementation on the board that you're looking for, make sure to check out the respective videos that we've done on different boards, whether it's going to be like the Maximus 6 Hero or whether it's something like the Maximus 6 Formula or our Mini ITX base board with the Impact or even our Micro ITX series with the Gene, as they all feature not only Supreme Effects but the Sonic Radar and the Perfect Voice technology. Now, tying into those things, a lot of people have a lot of different types of opinions at the type of software that we're putting out here for you guys to be able to take advantage of in your gameplay experience. Me personally, I love being able to take advantage of these type of features, especially in single player games, because sometimes you're playing a game and maybe you're in a situation where it's not always as easy as you'd like it to be, but maybe you don't want to necessarily tone down the difficulty. You can go ahead and easily maybe enable this, be able to give you a little bit more of an advantage in terms of being able to go ahead and get past that one checkpoint and then go ahead and continue on with the gameplay. Now, there's a lot of different perspectives when it comes to what provides a better experience. In actuality, in my experience, having a great quality set of headphones and having a great sound card in itself can actually be a competitive edge, as you're going to get better clarity, better spatialization, and better positioning for the people that you're playing against, especially in multiplayer competitive first-person shooters. There's also a question, of individuals that have larger monitors or different types of field of view adjustments. All of these things are different ways that you can customize the PC gaming experience, which in itself is what makes PC gaming so interesting and so diverse. So, as always, we'd really love to see your guys' feedback on what we've done with the Sonic Radar technology, as well as aspects of Perfect Voice. If there's something you'd like to guys see incorporated within it or fine-tuned or changed or improved upon, feel free, as always, make sure to drop those comments here on not only the YouTube page, but you can also make sure to hit us up and provide that feedback on our North American Facebook and Twitter channels, as we're always interested to find out what we can do for you guys to make the gaming experience better. So with that, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. As always, if you did, please make sure and like and subscribe. So as always, take care, take it easy, enjoy the rest of your day.